I think we're live. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Excited to be here.
again.
Excellent.
It's been a while. When was the first one that we did this? That's got to be like, wasn't it like the start of the year or something?
Yeah.
Excellent question. I have it dated as February 9th. So it's been,
Wow.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
Are we
Interesting.
live? Yes, we're
Yes, we
live.
are.
It says it.
Excellent. Good. Gray, introduce yourself,
Yes.
please.
Well, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I go by the name Gray Poupée. Good times. Might be a sentient mustard jar. It's hard to tell. But yeah, I'm just a fan of this whole series and really the author himself. I guess I'm a Brander stan. I don't know exactly what his fan group is called, but yeah, I've read way too many of his books. I'm looking to read more. But yeah, so I think it kind of fit in when you guys were doing the live read of this, kind of the abridged in parentheses version. It's awesome. So yeah, I thought it was awesome that you guys kind of asked me to step in on that first casting. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot of these characters and kind of how to cast them, and I didn't want to kind of spoil things for you guys last time when we were doing the other casting. So that was kind of a challenge, but you're pretty much at the end, if not.
And there would have been spoilers.
Yeah,
Yes.
you were very good. I think you were very good. I even liked the misdirect.
So this time, I don't feel like I have anything that I need to hide from you guys. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't feel like I have to watch my words quite as much. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my history with it. But I guess I would be like the super fan. I did that like year of Sanderson thing. I think it was last year. But yeah, it's just like, I can't remember how many books and a whole bunch of Branderson swag, but they're kind of awesome. And they kind of did a bait and switch on us, made it seem like they were going to be exclusive only through that deal. And then they released everything through Spotify. But there's some interesting books that he did.
Excellent.
But,
Hi,
yeah.
Taylor. Hi, Serge.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Everbirdie. So, this is round 2 of casting. At the time of our last casting, I think Kitteh and I had only read to chapter 19, and there were quite a few characters that we hadn't met yet, and we're going to finish off the cast. Gray, did you get SP5?
I'm blanking as what SP5 is right now, so I'm guessing no, not yet. Yeah, like I know I've seen the cover for Stormlight 5, but I did not. There's a couple things that I still need to get to kind of finish out my collection. But yeah, great. I hit a number, so it switched my avatar. No, I haven't gotten that yet. There's a whole bunch of things I need to finish out of my collection.
Kitteh
Then there's
So-
me and Dorkus.
And then there's
Book
Dorkus.
2. Woo!
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh man, we finished the first book last Friday, so this is a little bit of a celebration stream. And after we're done streaming, we are going to be recording the first chapisode for Ascension Unleashed. Muhaha.
Nice.
Also, for those interested, I have officially launched the No One Asked You Discord server. Link is on my YouTube channel if you want to go ahead and join. There is a section for spoiler discussion and for no spoiler discussion. Please honor that. But other than that, it'll hopefully be a really awesome community that we can build.
It will
It
be.
already is starting to.
Yeah, it already
There's some
is.
cool roles in there.
True.
Yes, go and
And
see.
I-
It is so. It's themed. I love it.
I'm a little proud of the emojis that I associated with each of the roles. Um,
Go and have a look.
okay. What?
I'm saying go and have a look.
Yes. Okay. For those who are new and haven't watched the last casting, the format for this is such that I have asked Kitteh and Gray to select 2 actors for each role. One for a current cast, which means actors who could fit into the role today, and then one for a timeless cast, meaning whatever actor, any age, alive or dead, that you would just have loved to see in the role. And what we are going to do is we are going to explain why we have made our pick, and then we will announce the pick. And we will do that for the current, then the timeless. I hope that wasn't too long and unfollowable. Shall we get started?
It was just right. Sounds great to me.
It should be a link in the
yeah, I've got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Oh, it's not. Why didn't it do that? Didn't make it clickable, even though I'm a mod.
I have no idea.
Either way, it's on part of the this channel. If you go to the channel page, there we go. Yeah, I'd like you to do it.
You should probably put it in the description too. It's for anybody watching afterwards.
You know what? I'm gonna do that as well. I'm learning things.
Yeah, okay. It's a learning experience. It's great.
Yeah.
That's all good.
So, for Kliss. Ho, 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 ho. I don't like this character. I wanted someone with the proper physical build for it. I wanted someone who was somewhat short and a bit stocky. I'm sorry. That's how I imagine her. Right? I wanted someone who could pull off gaudy very, very well. But I didn't want just a vapid actress. I wanted someone who could pull off the intelligence behind the vapid persona. I wasn't sure specifically what age Kliss was, but I had always imagined her a little bit older than Vin, but not so old.
She is supposed to be.
Yeah. But not like so old that it's weird that they're hanging out together, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted someone roughly in their 20s, maybe mid, kind of early-ish 20s. For the current cast, I saw this person in a role that I wouldn't necessarily consider vapid, but there are a few scenes from another character's point of view in which this actress's character is framed as very interested in unimportant or mundane seeming things, which I think could translate well. So I think she could pull it off. She played Monica Lewinsky in American Crime Story, which is, I think, what inspired this casting. I went with Beanie Feldstein for Kliss.
Interesting. I actually kind of thought of her too, but I went a different route with it. But that is interesting. That was kind of my first. I reread the description of all the characters, and that was kind of the first person that came to mind. But I went a different direction for a different reason. But sorry to speak over that. It's just very interesting. I like that choice.
Thank you. No, I remember I was looking over our old castings, and you and I overlapped quite a bit.
Yeah, you guys. I think you guys also overlapped a lot more because you have more knowledge of actors by name. I'm just like that guy from this. That's why that, like, I was telling Dorkus, like, for timeless it's usually quite difficult for me because I just don't know their names, so I can't. It's not as accessible, this knowledge to me. But we know this. We're used to this on the No One Asked You podcast. So I get it. Cool.
So for my second cast, or for my timeless pick, I went with someone who has aged out of the role, but I unironically think she might be one of the best actresses in Hollywood today. I think she could expertly balance the intelligence behind the feigned vapid persona, and even more so than Beanie Feldstein, I think this actress could make an audience absolutely hate the character at the reveal. I'm very excited. I went with why isn't it going? What's happening? Not again.
Paste, bitch, paste.
Molly Brown from Titanic. Kathy Bates.
Oh, that is a great timeless one.
That is an interesting choice. I can see it. I think she could pull off high society, but at the same time, kind of aloof, if you will. That's interesting. I did not go there with my choices.
Well, could you find a picture that? Yeah, is that you see? Is that how you imagine her?
I'm assuming a younger Kathy Bates.
I would want her a little bit younger. That seems that.
Well,
too old.
Well, this is timeless. I would want her at the appropriate age. That's
no. That's what I'm saying. Like with the timeless ones, I tried to find pictures of them at that age, but it doesn't matter. I think that one is brilliant. In any case, because I get what you're going with. I get the vibe.
Thank you. Okay, Kitteh, you're up.
Okay, welcome. Scarf times. Okay, so for my okay, well, no, that's timeless. Never mind. First, I'll do. Basically, this is based on the reasoning is quite clear. It's based on how silly we made her in our casting. I mean, in our reading. I think that just colored this perception of who I was looking for going forward, because you'll see it once you know her name is Carly Chaikin. She plays Dahlia in Suburgatory. So she is like the most Valley of Valley kind of dumb bimbo people. She's very much not the size. That's why I laughed when you said I wanted someone who's accurate. She's really tall and skinny, so it really doesn't make sense. But that's immediately who I go for, in that she can act really stupid and vapid, but then she has these moments of clarity where you're like, whoa, there's a brain behind that. So that's where I go for it.
That is kind of an interesting choice. She's definitely a striking actress. I think she could pull that off for sure.
She basically what I think of is the way that her eye, in Suburgatory, her eye starts twitching. She's like, like, that's what I get. Is that? It's pixelated. But she is also just an interesting looking. I know that she's definitely a choice if we put it lightly. And then I think she's past this. The reason she's timeless for this one is Rebel Wilson. She could, maybe she's too comedic for this. But I did think of when I did try to go. Try to go for the size thing. That's where I went for a Rebel Wilson. Sorry, Dorkus is there. We go. Let me see if I can get these.
I get those choices for sure. I could kind of see those, but yeah, I'm just wondering if Rebel Wilson could kind of pull off. She could do Mean Girl, but I'm wondering if she could pull off that change. But
Yeah, I don't know if she could. Yeah,
I don't hate either of those castings. I think they would totally work, but
I
I
think
just don't
it
think
would.
I've seen
Yeah,
Rebel Wilson do that twist.
there would be. Yeah, that would be a what do you call it? Sort of a promotion thing. That I think actually she isn't. Yeah, she's too comedic. I don't know, but I did think of her if she wanted to go in a more serious, direction. I would be interested to see if she could. I would want to see if she could, and if she could, it would be even more amazing because then it would be her also changing herself from typecast. Exactly, Taylor. That's what I mean. Like, it would be fascinating to have her go out of that because it would be not only her coming out of that, but Kliss, right? Dorkus, you are muted in case you're talking.
Damn it. I think it could work. She wouldn't be my first choice, but I certainly think she's talented enough to do it.
But would she be willing?
But would she? Gray, you're up.
Kill it.
Yeah. Interesting. So I kind of went a different route with this. Yeah, I'm kind of assuming that this actress wouldn't go with it, that this part would be beneath her. But hey, what the hell? We're dream casting here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I was trying to think like who could kind of pull off that kind of not. I think there's quite a big turn here, and I'm trying to think who could actually pull that off, and like what kind of characters I've seen do that. And there's been a couple performances in like Yellow Jackets, and there's a couple other things that I've seen her in that I think she would work in a way. It's not exactly what is the description of the character, but yeah, I think for somebody who could work now, I think I might go with like an Ella Purnell. Yeah, she was most recently in Fallout as kind of the lead. She can definitely do the naive, but I don't know. I've seen her as a blonde. I think she could pull off a Kliss type twist quite well. But yeah, it's not necessarily a bigger person, but I don't know that this world is super full of like bigger people. I kind of think, it's in comparison to the ska, which are undernourished. So I don't know. I kind of think she could pull off that type of twist, but I got a feeling it would be hard to get her to answer the calls now for this part.
Yeah,
but yeah.
She would be a strong contender for Shan, I think, more so.
For sure. I think it does kind of change the casting that we did before. I had kind of a theme that I was trying to work with. I guess I wanted more authentic accents. Since the last time we did this, I've seen so many movies with just such bad accents. So I don't know. I guess I was looking for a little bit more real, if I could get that. But
you must hate my podcast then.
No, not at all. I think those are some really good accents. I think there's like some really
man, right?
I like accents. What can I say? I think voice actors are a little bit different than some of these screen actors where like I don't know. Don't watch like House of Gucci or whatever. It's really bad. It's there's some really bad accents that I don't think they quite pulled off, and I don't know why they would let them go feature length with a bad accent. But yeah.
That's Lady Gaga and Adam Driver, right?
Yeah, I don't think Adam Driver quite nailed it. And then there's another one that's about Ferrari, where he also kind of went off on an Italian accent, but not quite the same. Those are the two that mainly come to mind. So I don't know. I want a little bit of authenticity with the accents. And I think, anyone around the courts or whatever would probably have some accent. At least in my mind, they did. They're proper.
Interesting.
Yep.
I don't know.
Sorry. Quick non sequitur. Kitteh, your casts I think, are very heavily influenced by the accents that we picked for
Yes.
Close, yeah.
But I've said so. I've said so, like, as well.
I must have been
No,
snapshotting.
Yeah.
Okay, Gray, who is your timeless
Yes.
cast?
So I was trying to think like what actress could really kind of pull off that turn and kind of make you hate her, kind of think that there's a darker side to her, but then could really kind of reel you in. And there's a couple performances from this actress recently that really kind of made me think that she could definitely pull this off. I think she has aged out of this role a little bit, so I'd like to bring her age back just a little bit. But Carrie Mulligan. So recently she was in Saltburn and Maestro. She had kind of a big year for in 2023, but yeah, she just really showed that she has kind of the range that I really think she could take on the turn that this character has. And I think she could give it a lot more depth than, I don't know, some actors might kind of bring to this role. Again, I think this is way below her. You know, she would want something else, but yeah, I think she could kind of pull off that, I guess, turn quite well.
Nice. And that brings us to Hoyd. Now, before we went live, Gray informed me that Hoyd is something of a fan favorite and that we should tread lightly.
No matter who you cast, it will be controversial. It will upset somebody. You know, he's a great guy. Who doesn't love Hoyd?
Well, where are my notes for Hoyd? I wanted someone that you kind of immediately read as a shyster, someone who could play sneaky and conniving, but also like become pitiful at the drop of a dime. Like Kliss, I wanted someone with a tremendous amount of intelligence behind their eyes. I went with someone sort of a middle-aged, maybe a little bit older, to suggest that he's been useful and successful to whatever degree an informant can be. And I could not think of anyone better suited to that than George Costanza himself. Jason Alexander.
Wow. Yeah, there have been like some joke castings of Hoyd online that did go with like Danny DeVito. I don't think I've seen a Jason Alexander before, but
When you say joke casting,
like mine,
please elaborate, because I may or may not have picked, but most certainly did pick Danny DeVito.
It's a choice. So in a couple other books, you do get kind of like pictures of him. Okay. So you're going young Danny DeVito. You're going like Taxi Danny DeVito. Yeah. Interesting. So like in Tress of the Emerald Sea, you do get a couple like full body illustrations of him. Okay. I always pictured him as like a black-haired character. I don't know why, kind of like Alan Rickman as Snape type deal. But when I actually went back to the description, and these pictures of him look nothing like that, he is supposed to be blonde. So
interesting.
I don't know. He definitely is supposed to blend in where he's at, but we didn't get to meet him a lot in this book.
No, we didn't get much of him, unfortunately.
Yeah, so to keep that in mind, guys, keep that in mind that we did only get introduced to him.
Yeah. Okay, Kitteh, who did you pick?
Okay, well, mine is very influenced by suggestions, I will admit. But now considering what Gray has said about it, I'm like, huh? But it fit for me because I do think he has to be a skinny guy. He has to be how am I trying to explain the way that he is shaped to me is rectangular. Okay, I have synesthesia. It's like I can make things into colors or shapes, whatever. So David Tennant, let me just say it. So he's very rectangular.
Okay. David Tennant's your pick? Didn't you pick David Tennant in the other?
He's such a good actor. He can play so many other things.
Yeah,
though.
and also we listen. That's another thing. I should have cleared with you beforehand. Is I don't even have my old casting, so I'm going new here. So if it conflicts, I guess. I don't even
well, not everyone's going to accept the role. That's why we've got the alternate. You never know.
True.
But I can see that. I think the internet has also suggested Tennant quite often for this character. So that works. That's not unheard of. It wouldn't be as much of a joke casting as putting Costanza or, the lovely Danny DeVito. I love both those guys. They're awesome. I like it.
Jason Alexander is a tremendously talented actor. So is Danny DeVito.
It's true. I don't know if Danny DeVito's a triple threat where Costanza is. So
to clarify, just to have it explicitly stated, Kitteh and I have only read the first book in the Mistborn trilogy. We know nothing else.
You've pinned that message, right? Yeah, it's pinned. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the point. I think that's also what's fun for everybody is that we are very ignorant. They're having a good time with our ignorance. Also, okay, so the in terms of the timeless, it's just because he's a little bit older than I would imagine. Hoyt, I imagine him kind of middle-aged-ish. So Tennant would be the current. John Hannah.
Him. That name sounds so familiar.
You'll see if you go and look at him. You'll see as well. He is a rectangle person because you can see his face. His face is long. That's why it works for me. We know, and it's very funny. Wow. I'm so, you know what? I'm the worst FOMO person. Like if you laugh and don't tell me what's funny, I'm gonna obsess about it, and I'm gonna be very upset. So I have to deal with this for a long time.
I laugh when I'm nervous, so please don't think that I'm laughing at you. It's a way of me coping.
No, it's more like nerves. I want to partake in the joke. So it's like, oh, tell me, come on, tell me. Oh gosh, so this is absolute torture for me. Thank you, Taylor.
Fair enough. I think those are really cool choices. I think
I agree. I
can't think of the. You said it's Anna is the guy on the bottom.
Yeah.
The timeless pick. I know I've seen him in a million things. He always kind of blends in as like a bit part, but I do like that actor every time I see him. I could definitely see that going because this character does need to kind of blend in. So that makes
exactly
sense.
what happened. Okay, so I suppose Tennant doesn't work. Because you'd be like,
I think he could blend in. He just wouldn't use that fantastical fashion style. He would just he would gather local garb.
I would enjoy seeing him. I guess I like him anyway.
Yeah.
Great. Who is your pick?
Fair enough. So this might be controversial, but from all the different iterations that I know a little bit more of this character, I should say. So there are certain things like I kind of mentioned, like in my head, I always kind of pictured like an Alan Rickman type. I don't know why. When I've kind of gone back to descriptions in a few other places, they don't seem to match that. So I think I just put that on there for some reason. So kind of matching the description and then what I know of the character, I was trying to think, is there an actor who has like that much range? And I think I've got a guy that'd work. I've seen him do a ton of sci-fi and he's always amazing in there. I've seen him go the swashbuckling route and it seems authentic. I think he could really match there. I've seen him kind of go on some really interesting real character pieces where he does kind of blend in a certain way, but at the same time, he's got a huge personality that could really show you that this character is more than just, say, the beggar we met. So I actually would go with, if I could cast anyone right now, I would go with Alan Tudyk. This dude can do anything. Like, if you look back at like A Knight's Tale, he can do very authentic accents, and he's always great at doing some sort of slapstick or over the top comedy, but he's done a couple performances that are just they're pretty powerful. I think he could do the dramatic turn on this, but there's more to this character where he's definitely got a larger than life side, if you will, and I think Alan Tudyk could just hit that note so well. And he just kind of gets lost in a lot of the characters that he plays. So yeah, I think I would support Tudyk as my current Hoyd, but I'm open to others. It doesn't have to be him. I think he could pull it off quite well. But if I had to go kind of like a timeless thing, there's one actor that yeah, that's true. I think Tenet would be a good one. But yeah, there's another actor that I'm kind of thinking he could take on a bunch of these different. He could do the type of turn that I think this character deserves. When he needs to be kind of proper, this dude could pull that off instantaneously. But I think I've seen him take like a darker turn and also a more comedic turn. I think if I could age him down a little bit, I think he could also give the gravitas that this part needs. Again, he's aged out of this character, so I'd want to bring him in much younger. But I actually can kind of see like a Carrie Elwes, if you will.
Ooh.
I think he could bring, that Robin Hood Men in Tights, the Princess Bride type of thing. But I don't know. He has taken kind of a darker, more serious turn. He was a good foil in Twister, and Saw wasn't so bad as that original one. But it's a really iconic character to try and cast. I think it needs somebody that would show you this is more than just the average beggar, excuse me.
Bigger.
That we just kind of, yes, he is bigger than a beggar. He really has some gravitas to this character. So I don't know if I could get a slightly younger Carrie Elwes. I think that's my dream casting for this. But Tudyk could really pull this off in my mind.
Alan Tudyk is so good. So
he could play
very
anything.
Good. Oh yeah. Which brings us down to Straff Venture. This might be, in my notes, I wrote this might be my most controversial pick here tonight, but apparently not.
Little did you know.
I got your back, don't worry.
Thank you. I was really on the fence about this one, and I gave myself an honorable mention that I'll bring up. I wanted someone who looks similar to my Elend cast, which, why am I blanking on his name? He's in Dune.
It's Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Yes. So I wanted someone who could look like his father.
Okay.
And Elend has some very specific thoughts, some of which I've said I don't necessarily think are entirely accurate, but they did inform my choice. He thinks Straff isn't uniquely intelligent, like he doesn't even read, but that he is that he is very cruel and that he is very much a bully. Now, after the first Straff chapter, I immediately thought of Charles Dance, but Elend also thinks that Straff is fairly young for his position, and that Elend doesn't think he'd have a chance to lead his house for a long time. So if Elend is 21-ish, I wanted someone in their late 30s to early 40s. I was frequently flipping between two actors. So my honorable mention pick is where is he? Joaquin Phoenix. But ultimately, he's not the guy that I settled on. I was a little, perhaps I'm too influenced by his recent work in Napoleon.
I was gonna say, are you gonna make him do an accent? Because he went California for Napoleon.
I'm worried he would come off just a little too whiny for what I want Straff to be. So I went with why go Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, okay, yeah, okay, I see it. If you want him to, if you age him, yeah. Well, like, and he look. Yeah.
I think he can get down the bully very well. I think he is young enough, like in the right age range. And
is he going to be ripped like in Roadhouse, or we going a little smaller on him?
Either or is fine.
Okay.
I could imagine
it's going to be more intimidating
adventure.
if he's in that Roadhouse physique, but yeah.
Well, if he's a bully, he's what is he? A tin eye, right?
Yes. Sees things.
Yeah. Okay. Now, in building with the bully thing, for my timeless pick, I went with someone who's aged out just a bit too much, but he can play very, very intimidating and very serious very well. I would love to see a young Ed Harris.
Interesting choice. Huh. He could definitely take on that intimidating part. Huh. I like the choices. They're not what I pictured, but I could see that working, especially when you kind of explain the age range thing. I might have screwed that up. I was just trying to think what actor. So I also had Chalamet as it. So I was also kind of thinking that, but I did not factor in the age range. So, yours may be more book accurate.
Kitteh, your turn.
Okay. So I also had Chalamet, but well, actually, I had two different guys actually, so it worked out. But now going forward, I know that in the book I keep, when I think of Erland, it's more simply Chalamet, but that's probably because of Dune and me enjoying it. So don't take that into consideration when you look at my drafts. My drafts are about his character, not so much about him relating to other characters. If you know what I'm saying, the way he looks. Yeah. So I do understand that he is. For me, the age is. I actually do. I don't think late 30s is. I expect him to be like mid 40s. But then again, this doesn't work. Basically, I do want him a bit older. So my first one is Michael McElhatton, because it just works for me. I think he can also pull off that menacing look, that condescending.
Nice.
It works for me. It really just works for me. But then, okay, if we're going to also another just basically for my timeless, another menacing guy that might have been aged out. Okay.
That dude.
Bruce
okay,
Bolton,
I could see that one.
Yeah, and after well, it's basically they're around the same age, but either way, Rolf. It's basically I use them as two slots. Rolf Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes, indeed.
Is that how you do it? Rafe. There's an L in it.
Pronounces it Rafe, but it is spelled Ralph. I don't understand, but fair enough.
Excellent pick.
I think it works. That these are obviously it's very tempting to go for basically the Lannister guy, but because that's basically how I picture him. But this works. I just didn't want to go for that.
Huh.
I respect your choices. I totally wouldn't have picked that top guy, but that's just because I didn't know his name. But I can see it working. I think either of those guys could definitely pull that off.
Yeah, basically that's the thing. That's what's difficult is I don't know their names. I just look for their faces and just like something cast, and then there you go. That's
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Now knowing what I know would probably be excellent.
He seems to be the internet's like #1 choice for it, and I could see him pulling it off for sure. He's got range.
Great.
Well, so I had similar thoughts as you guys. I can't remember if I came in with Chalamet or if we just kind of decided that, okay, that would basically be Ellen. So I was doing the same thing, trying to think who could be related to him. And I kept kind of going back to a couple performances that really kind of seemed to work for me. So, I'm trying to think, like, you would know this person from like Made in Manhattan, The Kingsman. So yeah, I also went with Ralph Fiennes. I think maybe he is a little bit too old for this role, but I think he would pull it off so well, especially with kind of more recent ones like The Menu. He just has this intensity about him. I think he could pull off that role so well. Ideally, you're right about the age. So if we could just lop like 20 years off of him, that'd be great. But he's such an amazing actor. I think he could pull it off. And then for my timeless one, you guys both mentioned him. I think ideally, so right now he's 77, but if we could take like 40 years off that, I think Charles Dance would be awesome as this type of character. Obviously, I think I kind of pulled from the same thing, like this intimidating father figure who doesn't necessarily have the best interest of their kid in mind, who definitely has some kind of tricks up his sleeve or plans to get himself out of trouble. I think this character totally works. So I would choose Charles Dance for it, but he's obviously not. I believe you said he would be under 40 at this point. I need to age him down quite a bit, but
40s.
But yeah, this dude could definitely pull it off. So I'd go with like that version of Charles Dance. I think it'd be great. But apparently I chose the easy one on this one.
And that brings us to Teldon.
Oh, right. Teldon. Okay.
So my Teldon and my Jostess were picked each with the other in mind. I wanted them to contrast with each other. And as we learned a bit more about their personalities, Teldon struck me as the more masculine frat boy type. And naturally, we need someone in Ellen's age range. I wanted someone attractive, a little pretty boyish, but not so much as to distract from Ellen himself, with a fair amount of masculinity to him. Let's see. I went with nope, not that folder. Joe Keery.
Hey, that was my Ellen.
It was.
Yeah.
All right, I could see it. He's the right age range.
I think he could do.
So you don't view him as more attractive than Chalamet? I guess Ellen. I don't know. I guess I kind of thought Ellen is more of like a bookie type. So the other guys might be a little bit more. I don't know.
I'd have to think long and hard on that one.
Fair enough. I could be misinterpreting it as well, but I don't know. I guess I kind of viewed him as kind of the smaller, more I don't know, again, bookish type, where the others might be a little bit more physical. So I don't know. That's why I thought Chalamet kind of matched that.
I think he could bulk up a little bit for it and do pretty well.
Fair enough.
But
He's got the
speaking
hair
of
for it.
bulking up, indeed, I went with my timeless pick, someone who has aged out but is the masculine pretty boy. I could absolutely see this guy in a lounge with girls fawning over him. I went with... Come on. Why? James Marsden.
Oh, yeah. That works.
Huh. Fair enough. I guess I don't think of him as that age. I just think of him kind of now. But yeah, that'd work.
Good old Cyclops.
Indeed. I think he was also Jack LaLanne in the Pop-Tart movie.
Probably. I don't remember it. I know I watched it.
It always goes back to the Pop-Tart movie. Yeah, I don't remember much of it either. But I remember thinking, that's Cyclops.
Kitteh, who did you go for, Teldon?
Okay. So basically with Teldon, it's just like, search young male actors. That's basically it. That's what I was looking for. And so obviously with Rings of Power being around the corner, whatever, one of the people that came up was Robert Aramayo. And the jawline, I suppose, did that for me. I was just like, okay, here you go.
Huh. I don't think I know that name at all.
You'll see his face.
I'm excited to see his jawline.
The guy that
he
likes the dwarf, right?
Yes.
Well, who doesn't like the dwarf?
Gives the meat to him raw.
Yes.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see it.
Like, I mean, he's not like handsome to me, but I feel like I guess he's a little bit of an it boy for them now. So
he is one to watch.
Okay, and so as for the timeless, would that we could just de-age Matthew McConaughey, just all the way down.
Mm.
All right.
Didn't you pick Matthew McConaughey?
Hey, stop! I've told you. We can't.
It doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist anymore. So if you bring up the last Mistborn fan casting, then I can give you. We can swap them out, or I can say between these and this one, which one do I stick with as my choice? I'll do that for you. But as for this, I don't have my old casting. So.
Okay.
Well, and you've established that you only know so many actors' names, so.
Also, no, that you can't put that picture of him. It's too old. You have to put a young one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
Do a young McConaughey.
Jesus.
Like Dazed and Confused McConaughey or something.
Like, okay, otherwise it's like, what is he doing hanging out with these kids?
Okay. Yeah, these pictures I can see. I can see it.
Like, make sure he's clean shaven.
You're gonna hate
that could be tough.
Picture.
Yeah, he went mustached for much of his youth.
No, come on.
Okay, I'll look for a better one.
Yeah, I know you were doing that as a joke. You better have been, because the one that I'm looking at right now is like, oh yes.
Okay, technically I requested that because I knew it, but yeah, my bad.
Send me the picture you're looking at on Discord, Kitteh. I want to do your cast justice. Oh, that's nice.
That's a nice looking man. He's a well put together man, that McConaughey dude.
All right.
McConaughey.
And that brings us to Mr. Gray.
Yeah, so I guess I'm thinking I was thinking that you need to have somebody around the same age as like Chalamet. So I was trying to come up, and I would have assumed, since he's kind of the more bookish character who's not like looking to go dance or do anything physical, instead he wants to go read a book. I kind of thought that fit Chalamet. He would be kind of smaller. So I'm looking for kind of bigger, a little bit more strapping people around the same age. And I'm trying to think of actors along that route. And what kind of came to mind, again, there are a couple movies from last year, but kind of Priscilla or Saltburn from last year. There is a guy who seems like he could use his natural accent, and he could kind of pull off this, familiarity in the courts, if you will. So I went with Jacob Elordi. He could play Elvis. I think he could be a more handsome friend to Ellen, a more
I love this
normal choice, if you will. And again, he can do an authentic accent. So I don't know. I think I'd go with that dude. Plus, he was in the Kissing Booth, so who wouldn't choose?
You know what? Guy? You know what, Gray? I'm stealing this one.
Wow, that's allowed. That's allowed. Okay, cool. I'm good.
And then, if we could change anything, if we're going like timeless, I was trying to think who else could kind of pull that off, and who would I want as that type of thing. And I was kind of reminded of a certain voice actor from X-Men '97. He was also in a Guy Ritchie series a little bit earlier. And then I thought back to some of his kind of younger performances where he was in like Divergent, Allegiant, and whatever the other one is, Surgent. But Theo James. This dude, I think if we just aged him down a little bit, he could use his accent. He seems like he would fit in perfectly in any court. And, it seems like he would be friends with somebody who's into books and possibly philosophy. So I don't know. I think I'd go with Theo James for this one.
I like it.
Not the greatest picture of him, but you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
For clarity to everyone listening, Kitteh, Gray, and I have not discussed these castings beforehand.
That's no. That was on purpose.
I hear the name. I picked the first picture. Okay. That brings us to Justes. Now, I think he was initially described as having a masculine voice, but the more I got to know his personality, the more I felt he seemed to be a bit mousy and neurotic. So I wanted someone who could reflect that in contrast to Teldon and pull off being the serious one in the group. And I went with, for my first one, someone that I thought could pull off that nervousness and that bookishness. Charlie Heaton.
Ooh.
Huh. Interesting choice.
I think he's a guy I could believably see as the kind of person that rubs his hand through his hair for nerves, which I think is one of his characteristics.
Yeah. I also read him as kind of a mousy type character. Interesting choice.
Thank you. And when I think mousy, oh gosh, where is it? For my timeless cast, I picked someone that I think would absolutely nail that mousy type, but he can also pull off an amount of masculinity, but a different type than my Teldon. I would love to see a young Michael J. Fox in this role.
Huh.
Wow. That is dream.
Wow, indeed. With the mullet or without?
You know what? Without.
Okay. I think either would work.
True.
Huh. I kind of like it. I respect that casting.
Thank you. Kitteh.
Okay. So, going with the mousy thing, that's basically her kind of nervous guy thing. And yes, I'll admit, just with going young male actors, and then going forward. Isaac Hampstead right. I know that we are. I'm taking a lot of what's the name, Game of Thrones guys here, but that's my frame of reference at this point.
Good pick. Pulling it up. Working my tech magic.
And you know what? Like, as much as we saw him grow up and his voice was not that masculine, he does eventually land up having a boy voice. So that's not the greatest photo that I was. But it works.
I'll get another.
You're getting the mousy. Well, I mean, he does mousy without, no matter what picture you put him at. Yeah.
True. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
And you're timeless.
Okay, so also actually this works if we just, I know he's only popular now, but Eddie Redmayne, the guy from the Beasts, what's it?
Fantastic Creatures and Where to Find Them.
Yeah, Where to Find Them, that one, exactly. If we had him at the same age as what's the name over there? Isaac, I think that would work because he's masculine, but he's mousy. He's like skinny, and it works. I think it's because of the mysterious beasts or whatever it's called, the mysterious creatures or whatever. It could work out.
I like it. I actually like that quite a lot.
And I like him as an actor. I actually like him more than a lot of my timeless are like, yeah, because I like the actor more. So
I respect that casting as well. Huh.
You better.
Surge went with Alex Lothar.
I was just looking that up too, and yeah, that dude. So like he was in like the Intimidation Game and like the End of the Effing World or whatever that is. I could really see that. That dude could pull it off, I think.
Let's go.
I don't hate that casting. Okay, so initially I was kind of thinking, who would this character be? Like, who do I kind of picture? And there were a couple of like performances that kind of shaped what I was thinking on this. So one of them was in actually not the worst movie in this series, but it really underperformed, and it's because it kind of just kept getting pushed back, and then it was finally released in 2020. But I thought he had a really good performance in it. So that's kind of what I was thinking for this type of character. So I also went with Charlie Heaton, and the movie that I was thinking was New Mutants. He plays, I think it's Cannonball in that one. But yeah, I could kind of see that kind of intensity. So I had actually gone with him as well for Justice. But I was actually originally thinking Eddie Redmayne for it. And then I looked up his age and was like, that's not going to work. Like, I need somebody a little closer to the age of Chalamet. Because I think Redmayne's in like his 40s now. I think so it just kind of didn't work for me. But yeah, that is kind of interesting that we were all very similar with kind of where we were going with that one. So I went really kind of out of left field on this one, if I could do timeless. So there is kind of a performance, and it's from a 2007 movie that not a lot of people know. But this character actually got a sword fight with Superman, and he actually won. It's interesting. But yeah, it's actually Charlie Cox. But if you could get a picture of him from Stardust in particular, this is kind of what I would imagine that character would be. I don't know. I really dig his performance in that. I mean, of course, he's great as, Daredevil, but, he's using a weird American accent in that as opposed to his actual way of speaking. I dig Charlie Cox. I think he would be great as this character. I could see it. But again, we'd have to age him down quite significantly. But yeah, interestingly, it's weird. You get Daredevil sword fighting Henry Cavill in it. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, it's a fun little movie. I think
Dorkus,
we're at
you're
Demure
muted,
now.
by the way.
Damn it!
I already picked that you were talking. I'm like, there is no way that he's quiet right now.
I was.
Dorkus does not remain quiet.
No, that's totally not like me at all. I was basically saying I really like that casting. I think that's fantastic. Which brings us to Demure. Now, I recall Kelsier observing in him an aged beyond his years quality. And I wanted my picks to exemplify this idea of boys playing at war and characters or actors for whom it would feel uniquely tragic were they to die at war. I wanted someone older than Vin and Elend, but with a baby face to lend itself to that boyish quality.
They'd done a performance like this before, in a curiosity.
I don't recall.
Okay. I was just wondering if we were going the same way, because everything that you're saying describes better than how I could what I pictured my character as well.
I was just going to say that, actually, because it works for me.
I mean, when I think of, modern babyface actors, there's only one person I can think of, and that's Thomas Brody Sangster.
I know I've cast him as something in this previously, and I'm pretty sure Kitteh did too, but fair enough.
It might have been Spook.
Or
I don't know.
Maybe?
Oh, Ulep, yeah, but yeah, I bear no ill will to that actor.
Yes, I think I cast him as Ulef looking back at it.
Dorkus has the cheat sheet because he created the last one.
Fair enough. That could be true.
Let me see if I have a photo of it that I can share with you.
Because if we go to my previous Vin casting as well, that's something that I'm.
Yes. Okay, I'm posting the last fan casting PNG in our chat, and then that will bring me to my timeless pick. I went with an actor that I think has these qualities and can also really pull off that agedness I want to see in Demure. I went with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I think I've seen a few people cast him as that same character online. Not a bad choice.
Nice. Okay, Kitteh.
Okay, so with the kind of exactly the way that you're talking about boys playing at war, I think you'll make sense. You'll understand when I say the guy from okay, well, he's in Civil War as well, because a lot of my picks are from that. But Jefferson White, but he's also from, what is it even called? The cowboy thing. You'll get why when
Yellowstone?
You see his face. Yellowstone, yes, because it's the same sort of thing where he has this. It's not baby face; it's innocent face. It's not that it looks like a baby. He is actually a weird kind of aged young person, but he has this innocence about him that you would be like, no, he can't die.
Kitteh hates my pick in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Well, he usually has a hat on.
Let me find a better one.
Okay. Yeah. PM me.
I was kind of
Kitteh,
surprised
from
when I
now
saw
on,
him without the hat. It's like, huh.
Kitteh, from now on, you are responsible for PMing me all pictures beforehand.
Here we go. That'll help you. That'll help you along. And then okay, and then timeless, right? Okay, the reason that you have to go timeless with this one as well is because Jesse Plemons has gone down he can really do evil really well, but he also does innocent really well. And if we could just bring his age a little bit back to when he was a little bit more young, youthful, chubby looking, Jesse Plemons.
Nice. Send me
That's a really interesting choice. I like it. I hadn't kind of thought of either of them, but yeah, I think they both really work.
Look, I'm very biased by the movies I've watched lately. So,
I mean, I think we all are. There's a reason why I'm casting a bunch of people from like 2023 movies. But also, we're striking while the iron's hot. What can we say?
Yes.
I think we're all affected by it. But I think that's what all the internet fan castings are, right? Like you wouldn't choose like just this nobody that nobody's ever heard of. I saw them in a local production of whatever.
I did that with one of mine. If you go to the old ones, you can see. You guys were like, "Who is this?" I'm like, "Well, listen, I went on IMDb and I just looked at pictures of people."
You know what?
Well, that works. You discovered someone.
What?
Yes.
You know what? What?
You know what? I need to post these fan castings in the Discord.
Absolutely.
The No One Asked You Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Link in the description.
Probably, if I can find
point.
it. Here, this might work. Or it might not. I guess.
There
no
you go.
clue. Go to the channel.
Yeah. Oh, it's because you're a mod. You have to post this. No one asked you. But yeah, that is it. And but also stick around here now if you're live in chat. Talk to us. So don't go in the Discord now. You'll get lost in there. It's very cool.
There's so much to explore.
Yeah. I guess if you're multitasking, it works.
Yes. Okay, where were we? Is it Gray's turn?
Yes. So I think for all the same reasons that you're talking about, like you really don't want you want somebody that would affect you if they were injured in battle, so to speak. And I guess you'd want them to be a little bit older than our previous ones for like Telden, Yastes, or Ellen. So I'm trying to think who would be kind of in that range and then who could definitely do it. And there's a couple of performances that really kind of came to mind, but I guess mainly it would be like both in John Wick and then in Game of Thrones. But yeah, I'd go with an Alfie Allen on this. It just, I think he has a way of bringing out a lot of emotions in his performances. And I think it would work in this type of character. I think he definitely would make it so that you'd want to care about the character. And again, it would bring a little bit of, prestige to it so that, this isn't just a throwaway character. But yeah, I mean, what he was able to do with Theon, I think he could really bring this character to life. So I think he's about there now. So he is a little bit older. He's like 37. So yeah, probably should be aged down a little bit, but I think he could pull it off. He's kind of got the baby face-ish thing.
Yeah, if you just shave
he doesn't look 37 to me.
Definitely.
But as for my timeless one, it might be kind of a weird choice, but I was trying to think who else could kind of pull off a performance like that. And I'm kind of thinking of some really interesting performances that he did. At one point, I guess everything I'm saying would give it away. Fair enough. I'm really thinking back to kind of like Rome. But I really think Ray Stevenson would be kind of amazing if you could really, really age him down. And I guess bring him back to life as well, unfortunately. But I just think like a young Ray Stevenson could really pull off the same type of deal, could really elicit those kind of emotions. And then you'd believe that he is some sort of battle-hardened person. Interesting choice of a picture for him. I was thinking a little bit differently, but that works. I guess I usually think of him with white hair now. But I really think Ray Stevenson could really bring some gravitas to this role and really kind of, I wouldn't say emotionally manipulate you, but he could make you feel.
very, very talented actor.
Indeed. I always love seeing that guy.
Which brings us to Menace. What?
Rest in peace for Ray Stevenson. Yes.
Which brings us to Menace. I really wanted that wizened mentor type. I wanted wise, strong, but aged. I wanted a grandpa character. And then I wanted, on top of all that, I wanted someone who carries themselves with a sort of melancholic sadness in their demeanor. I think
your descriptions are awesome, man. Like, they're better than the descriptions of the character online. I really like what you're bringing to these.
Thank you. I think he needs to be in his mid to late 60s, because I think he's like not super old, but unusually old for a ska, I think is kind of how he thinks of himself. Young enough to not be decrepit, but old enough that he's starting to feel that. So this actor's a bit older than that, but I think with proper makeup and lighting, etc., he could still pull off mid to late 60s. I went with nope, not that folder. Where's the proper folder? The High Sparrow himself, Jonathan Pryce.
Huh. Okay, I could see him as an older ska. Huh. I did not think of that.
Oh yeah, that is actually a really good one. Gosh, I want to steal that.
Well, apparently that's allowed now, so. And then I think Jonathan Pryce really has that wise mentor thing going on. But for my timeless pick, I think I got someone that has that and strong. I went with King Arthur himself, Richard Harris.
Oh. Okay, that works.
I respect it. I guess hadn't thought of either of those guys. I guess
but they work.
The main, yeah, they totally do. The main kind of description that I was working off was leathery, and I don't see either of them as leathery, but man, they could pull off the I don't know what you'd want to call that, but the experience of the for sure. Like they would feel authentic and like they would actually have some authority and would care over their people.
Yeah. Which brings us to Kitteh.
Okay, so I feel like this one it's so obvious because it's like he's been cast before. In terms of that literally, if I'm just going off with what Gray just said, like care for his people and things like that, you'll remember it from Game of Thrones. Ian McShane.
Ooh,
and it works. It works for me. I like it more than like if you make sure it's a picture with like Gray. Yes, look his oldest.
I'll do the Game of Thrones pick.
Okay.
I love Ian McShane. I am drawing a blank. Who was he in Game of Thrones? Because I just remember him from like.
Was he not in Game of Thrones? Yeah, it's that he was that. Yeah, yeah. So he was that. Yeah.
Father something.
Oh,
he has the thing with the hound.
Yes.
With the hound.
Okay,
yeah.
I remember.
That's obviously you can see why I went there, right?
Yeah.
Because of that. But I feel like that is all of mine are basic bitch casting, but you know that's what I'm here for. Okay, so in terms of timeless, now listen. Okay, we have to age him up. Okay. We have to get him very old looking, like a lot more old looking than, like, I know he's of the right age, but I need him to look more old. Nick Offerman.
Ooh.
And don't. I think he could pull it off. I know he's funny, but I've seen him do some serious stuff. and I think he could pull it off. He is Ron Swanson, if anyone else is wondering.
Yeah.
I guess I hadn't thought of aging up somebody for it, but that is an interesting choice.
Timeless. So if we aged him up and made him, because I think of tough. I know Ron Swanson's a joke, but that when you think
of the picture,
yes,
great.
Grizzled definitely comes to mind. Yeah, I like that choice. I just, like I said, I hadn't even thought that was an option really to age someone up. I don't know why. I just thought
anyone you want.
Yeah. Just my own mental block prevented me from doing that.
Some online fan castings have literally gone for they've specified gender swaps. Yeah, I don't think I think we don't need to do that.
You can if you want to.
I mean, I'm not generally fond of them personally, but the parameter of timeless is anyone. But it's not. I didn't do it, so.
Well, maybe not. We've got a couple left, so you never know.
But I like Nick Offerman, and that brings us to Gray.
Okay. So I wish I had kind of I wish I had looked at your description a little bit more. Because I like the way that you kind of filled that out so much. And I was just thinking, I remember they're a ska worker. They really care about like their fellow ska, and leathery. So I was kind of going off who could that be. And then there's a couple of performances that kind of came to me that kind of made me think this dude could really pull it off. So he's been in like Train Spotting, 28 Weeks Later. It's Robert Carlyle, especially if he had like some longer hair. I could really see him as like a ska elder, if you will. There aren't that many like plantation ska who make it to super late age. So I think about the age that he is now, which is 63, would be pretty old for a ska. So I was kind of thinking more like that era. But if we could get him with the long hair, like he had in like 28 Weeks Later, that's what I kind of envision this character being. But I guess I went basic bitch for my timeless one as well. So I don't know. I see it as Ian McShane for sure. I totally forgot about his performance in Game of Thrones. I was just thinking like every other performance that he's ever done. From John Wick to like Deadwood to anything like the American Gods ones. But those are all kind of recent. I just looked at his age and he's 81 right now. I just think if we get just a little bit more youth, so kind of more like the Deadwood era, so maybe like 15 years ago or whatever, I think that would be my Ian McShane that I'd want to use. But that's totally the kind of the leathered, worn, but you can tell that there's experience behind those eyes. That's the dude that I want. So yeah, I guess if you're calling your pick basic bitch, that would make me one as well.
No, you just had real reasoning behind it, other than me just like that feels right.
No, I just love that dude. He seems like he'd be about everything that I read for that part. Ian McShane sounds awesome for it, and I'd take him at 81. Put him in there now. He can pull it off.
Okay, hear me out. Just hear me out on this as a casting option for Menace. Okay. Come on, Danny Trejo.
Oh, leathery.
Yeah, he could definitely fit that part. Again, I'd want to bring him back just a couple years. But yeah, I could see it. I don't hate that.
It. Yeah. Based off of what you were saying, Gray, I think he could pull it off.
Leathery.
And that he has taco shops. They're very good. I've been there.
Very good. Sauce isn't bad either.
That brings us to Tevidian, yes?
Well, we've got Rashek. Oh, yeah, Tevidian, yeah.
Let's see. Tavidian was tough. My picks might be controversial here. We get very, very little of him in the book. And the Tavidian that we do get in the book is very, very specific to the scene that happens. Nevertheless, he is someone who should have that competence to fill the highest role in the ministry. Being Vin's father, I wanted him to look a little bit like my Vin pick. And given that Vin is about 16 to 17, I wanted someone in their late 40s to early 50s. I wanted someone very masculine, but also an aristocrat. I wanted someone dangerous, but someone who also goes to balls and has some degree of charisma.
You have me intrigued.
I'm so very fond of Southern Valette that my pick was a little bit influenced in that direction. This actor can be pretty darn scary. John Hamm.
Oh, I like that actor though. I don't care what he's doing. A lot of the time, let's do it. Go, act for me. Oh, that works. Oh, he can be. Oh, that's really good, especially with your
so much less controversial than DeVito.
Apparently,
yes, he would have to be bald, right?
I believe so. Yes,
which would help him be scary too.
Yes. And he would have eye tattoos, I think, as well. Now, I think my John Hamm pick skews very much into the masculine. My Timeless pick skews more into the aristocrat. I absolutely love this actor. I will probably watch anything that he is in. He built the Titanic. He shot Abe Lincoln. Victor Garber. Note, Victor Garber did not actually shoot Abe Lincoln. He just played John Wilkes.
But he did build the Titanic?
Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he's the guy that built the Titanic.
The actual, yeah.
That's awesome. I had not kind of thought of him for that, but he could definitely pull off the aristocratic part.
Yeah. Kitteh, who did you pick?
Okay, so let's go for the basic bitch because bald. Basically, that is it. It's the first just instinct because I'm thinking of scheming guy, Conleth Hill. That's my explanation is scheming guy. I don't care too much to make him too young or too old. I feel like he's been doing what he's doing with women for a long time, so it doesn't matter. He could be an older dad to Vin. He doesn't have to be at like child having age. He's been spawning children all over the place for a while, so it doesn't matter how old he is. Obviously, it wouldn't be that chubby. It has to be a little like obviously you've just given him the worst angle.
I'm not doing this on purpose, I swear.
Just looking a little better.
I mean, there's not many pictures of him adequate, but like yeah. Basically, it also just having that. I'm highly influenced by Game of Thrones things. That's why I call it basic bitch, because it's just like character like that puts in. There you go. Okay, and now in terms the next one, again, keep in mind you could age him however you want, because that's what I think. I feel like people would just get upset about the age. J.K. Simmons, but he could do scary as well.
Oh, I love.
So, however, at any age that you want, just put him in there.
Now there are some very funny pictures I could pick.
No, not the ones of him in the gym.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah, I knew you were going to look at that. I actually prefer him to my basic bitch one. That's also like I could have put them either or, but and also for me, I didn't make it like so obvious that it looks like Vin or anything like that. It's just, yeah.
Huh.
Okay, what happened to
Well, I like those picks, but wow, apparently I might have gone real basic bitch then on these.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess my first one, I was having trouble coming up with like an actor from right now that would kind of work. Because it has to be Vin's father. So I guess I was thinking somebody that would somewhat look like whoever we cast for Vin. I think me and Dorkus had both had Sophia Lillis as our kind of Vin choice, if we said. And I think my second one was like Jenna Ortega, because basic bitch. So I was trying to think who could be kind of a father figure to either of those actresses. And then I thought of this like 2021 performance that there is this bit of aristocracy to it, but it's also almost like a vampire, and it just, you can see the darkness and the callousness behind the performance. This actor can get very intense, and then their stakes or stocks, whatever, seem to have very much risen between the time that movie was shot and now. Again, I think he's above doing this part, but hey, we're dreamcasting here. So I'd actually put Matt Smith as the father. I think he could pull off the darkness. He does have a look that somewhat matches both of those actresses, where I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it if I saw it on screen, but really Last Night in Soho, where he's kind of this interesting villain character, I think that performance is kind of what sealed it for me. And then, of course, like with now House of Dragon, he can do anything. But, he's a former doctor. I think he has moments where he can bring out the charm, but there's something just creepy about that guy in a good way.
I actually feel...
it's more
sorry, go right ahead.
I feel
yes,
bad
and
that
he's
I
also in
haven't...
the most memed movie ever.
Speak.
I feel bad that I haven't cast Matt Smith because I'm so obsessed with him right now. So it doesn't work. It's not making character sense that I haven't done it. But maybe it's like he's special. He is Damon right now, so I can't.
Yeah, and I get it. It's a basic choice, and again, I think this is below him now. He would need a much meatier role. But yeah, I guess my timeless one, again, this would be way beneath them, but yeah, you might know them from like the greatest Die Hard movie ever, or perhaps a more recent one like The Beekeeper. But obviously, I'd want to age this guy down a little bit. But he has played everything, even the aforementioned horrible movie House of Gucci. He was amazing in. He is one of the parts that did kind of sell what, unfortunately, they had there. But so many classic performances, from The Man in the Iron Mask to, Scar from The Lion King. I'd have to go with Jeremy Irons on this. I just think he could pull off that kind of sleazy aristocratic type that could take out any of his ska mistresses, if you will, and I don't think he would bat an eye at that. So I don't know, he's kind of that dangerous character that kind of comes to mind for it. So yeah, I think I'd age down Jeremy Irons just a little bit, because I think he's like 75 now. I think we could go a little bit younger, but yeah, that dude. I'm guessing Die Hard with a Vengeance time, somewhere around like 90s. I think that Jeremy Irons would be awesome in that role.
Excellent. And that brings us to Rashek.
Indeed.
So we have to recast from last casting session, I think. I agree, Taylor.
Apparently, we all did. Yeah, right. As I typed mine, I saw the Kitteh put hers in there.
I think he could just do so many. He's so versatile. You could put him on all different kinds of things.
I love that dude. He could be anything. But sorry for cutting you off, Dorkus. You were saying about last time some castings.
We got distracted. Okay, look, there's a reveal. Now, the episodes that Kitteh and I have recorded have not aired yet with that reveal. They are some good episodes, you guys. Seriously, stick around.
Well, I know you had some theories in the beginning. You guys had some really good theories.
Yeah. But with this gift of knowledge, yes, only one reveal in the rest of the book. So naturally, I wanted to cast someone who looked perhaps like a distant relation of Sazed in some way. I have many questions regarding this reveal. All will be asked in the episode. So I needed someone young, appropriately young. And I still wanted that 1,000-year-old man. I saw this actor in The Green Knight. I think he would be perfect for the role. I want Dev Patel.
Okay. Interesting, Dorkus. Are you going to answer the question?
Are we going to do a recap? Well, I was toying around with the idea of doing like some sort of formal review of the book. Do I give it, an A or a B or a C, or something like that? But, I just, I don't know if I necessarily have that in me to do at a certain quality that I would like it to be. But I'll talk to Kitty.
Do keep in mind it's early in his writing, if you will. He had done like Elantris, but this is kind of his first series, so it really kind of progresses, and he's kind of learning as he goes. So it would be interesting if you guys how you rate this, because I don't think it would quite match what some of his other series are doing, but that would be kind of interesting if you're going to recap everything. Your thoughts on it would be great.
Yeah, I will talk to Kitteh and see what we can arrange. But yeah, Dev Patel, I think he's pretty good. And then
he would have to bulk up.
He kind of has. I don't know if you've seen Monkey Man, but he got kind of ripped for it. But yeah, he could get a little bit more ripped.
And then come on. A young Ben Kingsley. Whoa. Big picture.
Woo!
That guy, but appropriately young.
He would also have to bulk up a little bit, but fair enough.
Woody though.
And hair up a bit.
Woody though.
Wigs exist, and he's pulled off the bald for a long time. I think he makes it work.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
Okay, cool. That brings us to Kitteh.
Cool. So, for me, I just want to find handsome and evil looking. And again, I've not decided on a race or anything a racial obviousness that would give you the reveal the first time you see him. So I went for Eamon Farron. I don't know how you're supposed to say his name, but that guy he's handsome, but but you're like, you're evil, handsome. I don't understand. So that's what stuck with me, is just this handsome. She kept always saying handsome. So yeah, that's where I got it from for him.
Send me a pic, please.
Okay. I'll find the right one. I've got a few.
I asked because I can't spell his name because I didn't catch what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were doing all of these so quickly. I think I would have failed many a time.
I think yeah, there we go. Maybe that there's so many different options, but it works.
Ooh, nice.
Because it works for me. That's all. You have to see the face for me to understand. Like it literally just is the way that he makes me feel. It's with his face. Okay, and then Timeless. It's literally just because he's just aged out of it a little bit. So Tom Ellis, and I know it's so basic, bitch, because it's literally Lucifer, but whatever. I think it would work. Maybe it works a bit more with the reveal, because he's got a more exotic look.
Wait, you taught
Tom Ellis, Lucifer, the guy that acts as Lucifer.
I didn't dislike that show. I liked it. I didn't care for the last season personally, but I enjoyed watching it.
I'm trying to. There's so many stubble pictures of this man. He loves his stubble.
Yeah. I can't find a good. Oh, this one's kind of good stubble, but
he really does love his bloody stubble. God damn.
Well, we can CGI it off.
Yeah, it'll look great like they did for Superman. It just, I just love it. He could do it so well. He could do that. He does that mischievous. Yes. Okay, the comedy bit of Lucifer, but when he does do evil Lucifer, it actually really does work.
And I could see him as a Pac-Man, and then I can see it for that. Yeah, I think that works for me. I guess I just see him as like the pretty Lucifer type, so I wasn't kind of thinking of it, but I think that picture totally works, especially if you go on Timeless.
Yeah, I could absolutely see it.
Ooh,
go on.
So Taylor was saying he also might work for Kelsier. She's not wrong. Yeah, I think that could work really well, actually.
You need a guy with a smile like that. Yeah, he really does have the mischief. That works.
Yeah, well, that works really well. Make it happen. And that brings us to Gray. Finally, you refused last time, rightfully so. Perhaps.
Yeah, so I did have this casting last time, so I don't want it to seem as whatever. It's going to be what it is. So there's a certain actor who I've seen in a bunch of different things, and I've seen them grow a whole lot. I've seen them through a bunch of different kind of ages. Something like I think we would see in a role like this. And I think it's really worked well. And I've seen this actor kind of come into their own. But seeing him from like way back when, things like The Road Within, and I think what were some of those other early ones? I guess Lion, The Man Who Knew Infinity, and like Chappie, and then kind of seeing them grow, especially since they were in such a horrible film, the M. Night Shyamalan version of The Last Airbender. However, their performance could have been worse. But yeah, just to see this guy completely grow in movies like Dorkus was saying, The Green Knight, and most recently Monkey Man, I think Dev Patel could really pull this off. I think
That's why you
I
had to
think he
keep
would.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that would be a spoiler or not. So I don't know. I didn't want to try and hint anything in there, but yeah, I really see him as kind of that character that I'm envisioning. I could see him in all kind of walks of life and kind of at various ages, but he seems like he would be intimidating, yet I could also see the handsome thing. So yeah, I couldn't agree with everything that Dorkus said earlier, but I also wanted to say I thought of it first. So yeah, it's just me.
True.
But yeah, man, I think it would just be a good choice. I can really see him doing it, especially with the most recent one, Monkey Man. I think he could pull off the the intensity that this role is going to need.
Great. Every single time you say Monkey Man, I think of Hey Arnold.
I don't think that's what he was going for with his directorial debut, but yeah. This part would also come with some gravitas. Maybe he'd be willing to do it, is the other thing that I'm thinking. But as for my timeless one, I don't know. I guess I kind of keep picturing something in my head, especially with certain accoutrements this person has. I guess I kind of just keep going somewhere. So this actor has been in a bunch of different things, and they've pulled off a bunch of interesting roles. They were in like Charlie's Angels Fully Loaded way back in the day. They were in Westworld. They were in Lost. Love Actually, and a few more contemporary things. But they are most known for their role in 300, and it would be Rodrigo Santoro. He plays Xerxes, so that is kind of what I kind of see when I picture this character. I don't know if it's just because I'm so influenced, but yeah, I think it's the jewelry mainly. Just makes me think of Xerxes, but yeah, that is just kind of what I am thinking with this. But it would be interesting. He is a Brazilian actor, which I didn't realize even watching those movies. But I don't know. I think he could pull it off. But yeah, I would have to go in a time machine to that time, whatever that 2006 time.
Nice. And that brings us to 2 points of discussion. We cast the Inquisitors last time, so I didn't feel compelled to have us pick anyone specific for Carr. But
I guess I could keep this to myself, but I did something really stupid with your message to us. You said, since we did the Inquisitors last time, let's nix Carr. I read that as, and this character named Nix Carr. And I was like, I don't remember Nix Carr. I remember Carr, but who is Nix Carr? And I seriously wasted like 10 minutes looking for Nix Carr. And it's like, wait, what? Like, it sounds like a Branderson type name, but yeah. So I probably didn't have to admit to that, but I spent way too long looking for Nix Carr. But yeah, we did cast the Inquisitors last time. Sorry for interrupting you there.
All good. So we cast many Inquisitors, and I think any of them could fit.
Big
soldier.
Big soldier man. But I wanted the slyness because of Carr. I would revise, or they would all of them could work, but if I could just. Because there are never enough Skarsgårds in anything. I would have Gustav Skarsgård as I just want to mention them. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. I mean, you can always use a Skarsgård.
Yeah. Because he's just so menacing. And yeah, I know he's not the right size at all. But where is he?
1 sec. Come on. All right.
Or Bill Skarsgård. Either way. They both
that one would be a little bit different.
No, I know that you're like, no, but they both have the same quality of like menacing. You could hate them easily. And look, you just make them bold and we're good.
Nice. And just anyone off the top of your head, Mr. Gray?
Yeah. Yeah, I think from my old casting of the Inquisitors, the one that I'd want to see the most is, you might remember him most recently from that Jennifer Lopez Netflix movie Atlas, or Brothers Grimsby, or that Sherlock Holmes movie. But Mark Strong, I just think that dude is really intimidating. So he's in like all the Kingsman movies as Merlin, and he's in like 1917, The Intimidation Game, like a bunch of different things. But I think I'd go with Mark Strong as like my number one choice. I think he could be really intimidating and a formidable foe. Plus, he really rocks the bald look quite well. Mm-hmm. But if we're doing like a dream casting where we could do anything, Jason Statham would be pretty intimidating, and he's bald. I wouldn't hate that dude in there. I think it's beneath him. I think he'd want a starring role in this. But I think he could be an Inquisitor if he's willing to go under the makeup. But my number one choice would be Mark Strong for this.
Who was your other choice?
Jason Statham. He's kind of unknown, but he can also rock a bald head.
Excellent.
I'm just saying he'd be intimidating, and he takes out kind of a key character. And, if I do get my casting on that, maybe he would want to take out like a Matt Smith type character.
And for me, for the dream timeless cast,
on the fly.
What?
On the fly, because I made you do it.
Yeah, on the fly from what I can remember of my cast last time, I think I had Ray Liotta, which I think would work.
Mm-hmm.
And oh gosh, who was one of my other ones? One sec. Pulling up the picture. I can't see a thing. Rory McGann.
Totally forgot that you had Ray Liotta on there, but he would be awesome. You would definitely bring more. I don't know. You would definitely see that as a bigger Inquisitor than the others. He would bring some gravitas to that role for sure. Ooh. No, I forget his name. Rory
McCann.
The Hound guy.
Yes. That would also work. He would be very intimidating. Could you get him to shave his head, though?
Let's go with yes. And then that brings us to Kitteh wanting to recast her Vin.
I had to, because, again, just having watched Civil War, I could not stop seeing Vin in this show, this movie. So I have to
Kirsten Dunst?
Kaylee Spaney.
Oh, that makes more sense.
She can actually, she is, yes, I know you could be like, oh, well, maybe she has to be in the timeless thing, but she actually looks so much younger than she is. Yeah, so she just worked every time. The point is, it was like uncanny. I was like, stop. I kept seeing her. So that's why I had to ask if I could just do a mention of her. I have no suggested image. Like, just go and watch that movie and you'll understand.
Apparently the top one's kind of risque. But yeah, she's an awesome actress. She also did Priscilla last year, and just, I don't know, she's able to play many different ages. Like, she played, I want to say like 20 years of her as Priscilla, but just her very small size, but still, like, there's this toughness about her, and then just the way that she was able to portray a completely different character in Civil War and still give her that kind of I see what you mean. I'm excited to see her in Alien Romulus. I think I would much prefer her over a Jenna Ortega type. I think, she was just hot at the time. So she had come off Scream and whatever Wednesday. So
the executives would have gone for it.
Yeah. It definitely could have gotten this greenlit.
Her size is perfect for it. Like that is a huge characteristic. That is a very important characteristic of Vinny. She is literally she's tiny. And that's one thing you notice in Civil War. You're like, how small is this person? And yeah, I just couldn't.
In Elvis, it's crazy. She looks like she's like a 14-year-old. It is crazy. And she's like 25. So yeah, I think she would be a great choice. I would definitely choose her over my current casting that I had last time.
I still like Sophia Lillis, but this one would be excellent.
She's still my timeless one. I'm keeping her as my timeless one. I think we overlapped on that. But yeah, I'm cool with nixing Jenna Ortega on this. I'll get on the Kaylee Spaney wagon.
Excellent. Well, I think that's everything, yes?
Everyone so far.
I think so.
Well then, I suppose it is time for goodbyes. Thank you all for watching. Taylor, before I forget, I saw you commented on the old version of 34, and then after I re-uploaded it with an extra thing at the end. But so now your comment's not there, but I want you to know I saw it. Thank you. And thank you all for watching.
Yeah. And we'll see you Sunday.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.